Alright, what's up guys? Kind of new doing this thing as far as YouTube or social media posts and everything like that, so bear with me. A little different. Trying to open up and learn new skills and how to kind of better things. Purpose of this video today, got my wife's 2015 Dodge Durango Citadel 5.7 liter RT engine, or sorry, 5.7 Hemi engine, doing a exhaust upgrade because, like most things we have, we don't like anything stock. We want to make it a little bit better, to make it a little bit louder and kind of fit our needs. So we're going to do a startup on a stock exhaust, stock motor, no add-ons or anything like that. Kind of see how it sounds, and then we'll get into what we're actually putting on the vehicle, and give you a kind of walkthrough so you can see how it's done. Hopefully it'll help somebody out if they decide they want to do an exhaust. This can be done at the house. Just your average guy, working out of my yard. As you can see, there's houses around me. You don't need a shop or anything like that. Basic tools, and you can make it happen. So here's the startup. So as you can tell, very quiet, not loud at all. The way Dodge manufactured their vehicles, they made them to where it does sound a little good at times, but not. But what we're going to be doing today is the Blastin Bob's rear resonator axle back exhaust delete. So it's going to get rid of the big resonator mufflers that are on the back. It's very straightforward. One of the other things that we decided to go with was, check this out. This is not a fake carbon fiber, but this is a real carbon fiber surround on a 4.5 inch tip that, as you can tell, if I were to set it in here, that's going to fill up this exhaust hole really, really well. Compared to the stock exhaust, it's a good size difference. It's girthy, and I like it. We wanted to get something that was going to fill up the hole a lot better. So we'll get into the install, and we'll kind of walk you through there. They do send you instructions, and when I say very simple, they tell you everything that's needed, as far as where to cut, what to go in and do. They tell you what tools are needed. For this, we're using my DeWalt Sawzall with a metal blade on it, and then to bolt the resonator deletes on, it's a 17mm socket. They'll tell you, your 17mm socket or wrench, and then some lubricant. The lubricant so you can slide the hangers off and get your exhaust off of it. And then you're cutting 2 inches, from what I'm understanding, 2 inches from a tangent. So a lot of people, they don't know what the tangents are. So if you look at the tangent, what it's telling you is from the end of the bend on the exhaust, you'll measure 2 inches out and cut, but they want you to mark where your tangent line is. That's the forward or aft of your bend line. So we'll get in, we'll do the measurements, and we'll get it marked up where it needs to be cut. We'll cut it off and get these old, I'm gonna just call them, vacuum cleaner suckers off. And let's open this baby up and let's see, what kind of sounds we get. I've heard a lot of good things about the exhaust. A lot of people say it works really well. It's got a good tone. And this is something for just right now. We do plan on getting rid of the suitcase. When we do the suitcase delete, I'm gonna do a standard H pipe. The H pipe. Sorry about that, neighbors driving by. The standard H pipe compared to X pipe, yeah, your X pipe you do get a lot raspier sounds and more high pitch. You get what they say a little bit more power on the top end, but we're not going for horsepower. We're not going for, you know, a raspy high pitched sound. We want something that sounds like a true American muscle. To get that, go with your H pipe. If you want a deep tone, H pipe is the way to go. A lot of people just revert to the X pipe because it's just so easy. You can buy a universal X pipe anywhere and your local shop can weld it up. Doesn't really take a whole lot. For us, we want something that sounds a little bit meaner, a little bit beefier. So we're gonna go with the H pipe and do the suitcase delete. Gives you a little bit more bottom end torque as well. And let's be real, who doesn't like a little bit more kick on the down low? Old mom-mobile here. You got third row seating, captain's chairs in the back. You pull up next to it and you hear it and you're like, oh, that sounds pretty good. And then you want to get on it and you know, you think, oh, I'm gonna be one of these old racer boys. Well, guess what? This right here is gonna take you out, bud. It ain't no slouch. It's pretty good. And then if you keep up on the channel, like I said, I am new to this, so trying to learn and get better at it. But the next couple things we're going to be installing is she likes the carbon fiber, so we're going to do some carbon fiber upgrades on it. And then we've actually got the Eibach lowering kit. Now this does have the load leveling rear shocks. There's nothing attached to them, but we're going to have to change out the rear shocks and go with a standard RT style shock. We'll get into that later when we get those parts ordered, but we've got the lowering kit, so you know, if you keep up on the channel, then you'll see what all it takes to install a lowering kit in your driveway. It's nothing hard. It takes a little bit of time, a little bit of muscle, but we're going to do walkthroughs, we're going to do videos, we're going to show you how everything's done. Try to make it as easy as possible for the everyday DIYer that's at home and can't afford a lift or can't afford to take it to the shop, but has the common sense and the knowledge and the drive to want to do it themselves. That's the biggest thing. We want to be better and we want to take on new skills and new hobbies. I like working on vehicles, so I mean, I've got a bag truck. My wife's got a Lexus IS 300 that we're been rebuilding and trying to get it going again. Put a lot of work into it. Put a lot of work into my bag truck. We kind of just do a little bit of anything and everything. But enough of the talk. Let's get into what we're going to do as far as getting everything marked out and kind of going forward. So, start off, get your vehicle up in the air. Some little drive-on ramps works really well. Won't have any issues. Get you up high enough to where you can get you a creeper. Roll up underneath the vehicle, take a look, see what you got, where to go, how to do it. And as long as you're following the simple instructions, like I said, it's all, cut and paste. I mean, there's nothing hard to it. So, we get on here, we get to looking. We've got the muffler here, or the exhaust. Now, I've seen where some people said it was better to remove the under parts of here, and if that is the case, then we'll go through and we'll do it. But kind of give you a little look as to what's underneath and what I'm really talking about. So if we go under, as you can see, we've got the shielding here. And this is what they're talking about removing in some people's videos. I'm not the first one to do this. It won't be the last, I'm sure. But, you know, you come in, you start looking, you can see you've got some bolts on here. You've also got your spare tire. So we want to make sure we get the spare tire down. There's no welding required. So we'll figure out where we need to go, where we need to cut. We'll get spare tire down, we'll get this out of the way, and then we'll get to cutting on this exhaust. And, you know, we'll kind of go from there. Another thing you can also do is you can go through and you can pretty much set your vehicle up however you want to. But one of the things I found that was helpful anytime I did something is I would always look and see, you know, well, I've got this exhaust. I know this is going to go in the cut in. My tips are going to go back here. So I've got it orientated the right way. This is going to be my left side. If I go down here, and I look around about in the area where everything goes, it'll sit where it needs to. That all looks right. Well, to me it looks like it's going to be a little over the 2 inches to cut. But we're going to start with the 2 inches from the tangent. We'll cut it. If we need to cut a little bit more, you know, we'll cut more. It's better to cut less than cut more. I'm not trying to, you know, bring the welder out and throw some welds on and try to, you know, add pipe to what I cut off because I got a little excited and cut too much. So let's go through. Let's start getting this stuff, you know, mocked up and ready, and let's get to it. First things first, we're going to open up the rear trunk. Excuse me on this, we're fairly new on this vehicle. We actually picked this up used from somebody, so it's kind of a new stepping stone. I'm gonna turn you around real quick. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let my seats down. That way it just gives us a little bit more extra room. We're going to fold this cover over. Once we fold the cover over, there is a spot right in here. It's got your jack and everything. So you just take and push those little tabs down, that gets you that out. When you look down here in the bottom, you got this little cap, little cover. Pop it off, and when you do, it'll expose this little piece right here. All right, we're going to take the jack handle attachments. We'll put that on there. Then we're going to grab our lug wrench. Our lug wrench has this little hole. Put it on here. And then we're just going to crank it counterclockwise. Alright, so what we're doing is we're letting our spare tire down. So that way we can get to what we need to. As you see, spare tire's down a good bit. A little crusty and dusty. That's all right. We'll mess with that a little bit later. All right, let's get y'all put back in the stand. All right. So I'm gonna grab me some gloves because a lot of people, they just don't want to get wet or dirty. Yeah, you know, I mean, if we can stay a little clean, that'd be better. So, throw me some more gloves on. Just something to work with. Come back down here. Now, take the tire out. Lift up on it a little bit. If I can get my hands up underneath. Alright, you got this little piece right here on this bracket. And it's little dog ears. If you take and you drop it down low enough, you can hold it up. It's not that heavy, but hold it up, move your dog ear up, turn it sideways, slide your wheel out. That'll give you all the room you need. And then I'm gonna grab a 10mm. We got some bolts to take off. Alright, for this part, we're going to start removing the black case. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 10mm bolts. So we're going to come in and we're going to take out those 10. Don't do what I just did. Had a moment. Had my gun going the wrong way. Started to mess up my bolt. So make sure your tools are going the right way. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. Not righty loosey. You can do that, you'll start messing stuff up. Alright. Now we got that out of the way. Slide it over. Everything's open in the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to spray some lubricating spray. Well, now we got our lubricating spray up in there. That's good to go. Let's figure out where we're gonna make our marks. Try to get everything mapped out. now I've marked it 2 inches past the tangent. Take our good old DeWalt Sawzall. We're going to come in and we're going to make our cuts. No turning back now. Okay, so I know I want to do my cut there. Oh. Sometimes it's a little tricky. I'm going to pause this off. Try to move the pipe around a little bit. I tell you, it doesn't like to move very much. destroyed one blade. Not a big deal. So kind of like what I was saying was cut less, save more. That's kind of the thing now. If you cut less of it off, you can always come back and you can trim more. And that way you don't have to worry about, you know, finding you a shop to weld up some more exhaust or anything like that. So I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna make this little cut, clean it up a little bit, and I'll be right back. Get in here and let's bust out the rest of it. So, kind of what we're running into right now. Not really a problem, but it is something to kind of work with. Sorry about putting my hands in front of the camera. You come under here, you cut your exhaust. You got one hanger right here. So spraying the lubricant spray in there helps pop this out because it does have a flange on it. So using just a regular pry bar, you can get that out. Then you come in here and you look right there at the top. There's another one. So we got to get that one out. So I'm gonna grab a longer pry bar. See if we can pop that out. It's on both sides. Like I said, those little things, they're not bad. They suck sometimes, but as long as you wet them, they'll work like they're supposed to. So, sorry about that. Pretty sure y'all don't want to see my garbage can, but let me go grab the pry bar, and I'll be right back. I got all the tools in my wife's car because we've been working on it, so hopefully I can get her car up and running before long. I might do a little preview of her car, what we're kind of doing to it and everything. It's nothing fancy, but it is what it is. So, tools of the arson. Come out with a long screwdriver. Come out with a short little pry bar. Then we're gonna come out with what I call Big Bertha. If I can't get in there to get it out, my Big Bertha. She's done wonders. She's done a lot of stuff. Love that thing. not necessarily needed, but it's beneficial to have some tools to help that they don't list. Like I said, you will need stuff to get the hangers off. Just kind of whatever you decide, whatever you prefer. So let's get back to it. Grab my lubricating spray. It stays wet for a while, but we're just going to recoat it. A couple little squirts in there. Now, this thing right here, it keeps all the noise away. And you know, if you're like me, you want that noise. So let's get rid of this. And let's get to the fun stuff. One, I can hold this in one hand. That takes two. Got some weight on it. So, I mean, if you're that concerned about it, yeah, you lose a little bit of weight. Not exactly sure how much, but you do lose a little bit. So now we're going to take this. We're going to set it up in here. Put that in. Nope, I lied. I'm not going to put that in first. Try not to bust my knuckles or cut myself. Grab my 17. A little tricky getting it in here. You know, I'll be back in a minute. We're gonna take a brief pause. Make sure I can get this figured out. Hold on, I'll be back. All right, a couple minutes later, figured out what I was doing. So when you slide the pipe all the way in there, you'll bind it up and it won't allow it to rotate to where you can put your hanger back in. So you'll have to finagle it a little bit, try to move it out. But what I found best, oh, I just realized I got a spot on me. What I found best was to go through, oh, it's still there. Cool. Anyway, scroll for a minute. I do that a lot, by the way. But what I found best was to take it, slide it off a little bit, and then kind of work it to where you see the hanger starting to get up by the rubber isolator hanging bushing, and then it'll just slide right in. It's not hard at all. Like I said, it just takes a little bit of finagling and honestly just manning up on it. Don't be a chump. Anyway, so once you get the pipe put in, as you can see, it's installed. We've got it installed loosely, so that way we can make our adjustments once we put our big 4.5-inch tips on. We'll get that knocked out, But I'm gonna jump to this other side, get the other side pulled off. We'll get the other resonator delete pipe put on, and we may fire it up, just see what it sounds like before we put the tips on. Or we may, I don't know, I may wait to the end, let me get the tips put on and then see how it really sounds. You change the decibels a little bit when you start adding your tips in. Keeping it on a small pipe, it's a lot more raspy and louder. And then when you put the tips on there, it gives the air more to move around in, which gives you a deeper tone. A little bit bigger exhaust all the way back works just fine. But enough talk. Let's get to it. Pull the open the nut up a little bit, or open this bracket up a little bit, so it'll allow it to swivel around and move. Hopefully make it a little bit easier for us. So we're gonna respray. Just like that, resonator delete is on. So now we're going to keep everything loose. Let's get these monster tips put on. I've seen what it looks like with 5-inch tips. It's nice. Fills up all your space. But fellas, they always say, happy wife, happy life. Well, my wife loves carbon fiber. So I think I'm keeping the tradition going with happy wife. She loves them. She looked down last night. We took them out of the box. We just got these in yesterday. So, figured I'd do the video today. And just so everybody knows, this is a 304 stainless steel clamp. Stainless steel tips. I'll get the part number and everything off, and talk about it at the end of the video. But for now, let's see what she looks like. Now I will say, Blastin' Bob's did say a 17 millimeter, and they didn't say that you needed anything for the exhaust tips. You do need that. Don't go without it. You need a 13 millimeter to tighten down the tips, just because they're not built onto the muffler, or they're not built onto the pipe. This is something you add on, so take that into note, unless if you order the ones where the tips are already welded on. I think they have the option for welded on tips. Their website, they've got a lot of different applications. This is the application for a 2011 to 2023, 2024 possibly. I know to a 2023 Dodge Durango. This is for the RT or the V8, the Hemi. Pretty sure the Hellcat's gonna be the same way. I don't know if the exhaust bend is the same, but it should in theory be the same. Everybody does all these swaps and everything, so you should be able to, you know, get you a good quality exhaust. And it's not that bad, honestly. I mean, I think we got the exhaust that was like $400 or just under $400 for the resonator delete and tips. And I mean, I've been out here for about an hour putting these on, and it's honestly not bad. And a lot of it's because I'm sitting here talking. So I mean, if I wasn't doing the video, it'd be a lot quicker, a lot easier. But I'm trying to explain some stuff and show everybody just so you kind of see what goes on. Neighbors being loud. Just giving you that peace of mind of, oh hey, this is this way and this is that way. These people. But y'all live in neighborhoods and y'all got kids. I got two. I got one on the way. Y'all pay attention to what y'all are doing. Don't come speeding through the neighborhoods and everything like that. I mean, you never know what kids are gonna be out playing. Anyway. may do some adjustments. I might have to talk to the wife. Going flush with the back bumper, you don't really see the carbon. So I may take and I might loosen it, move it out a little bit, so that way you can actually see the carbon fiber on it. Who knows? Pretty sure I know what she's gonna tell me. She wants carbon fiber out. We'll see. But for now, let's get her tightened up. Got her tight, she looks good. That's done. I like it. That's good. Now let's see what she sounds like. Oh, need the key. I'm gonna do a remote start because I'm gonna be with y'all on this first start. Definitely not loud, but it turned out pretty good, if I have to say. A little carbon fiber there, you know, makes it look good. Like I said, it fills out the whole lot better. 4.5 inch tips. I mean, I like them. I may have to do some adjustment on that one to get it a little bit more centered. This side turned out really good. So I'm gonna get it all buttoned up. I'm gonna get the plastic shield put back in, get the spare tire put back up on it, get the tools cleaned up, and you know, that's gonna be the end of it. Oh, and you know, because I said that I like working on vehicles and everything like that, and I was talking about my wife's vehicle and my vehicle. This is a project. It's my Ford F-150, 02 model, but what we did was we changed out the whole front end, put the hood, core support, front bumper, headlights, and fenders. Those are all from a Ford Expedition. I didn't like the regular F-150 front end. It does have the 22-inch centerline billet wheels. It does have full air ride suspension. Like I said, this is kind of a going project truck right now, so bear with me. I've got some stuff to do. We're still working on some things. There's the Eibach lowering kit for the Durango. That way we can set it down a little bit lower. But we've changed out everything. I mean, we've got a lot tied up in this one. Does lay complete frame. It is what it is. It's a little fun little toy for me to mess around with. You know, like I said, I like tinkering with things. So it had a tan interior, tan cloth interior. We pulled the cloth interior out. Ended up doing gray leather. Changed the front end out. Got rid of the shaved doors. Went back with a standard door handle. Yeah, it needs to be painted something fierce, I know. And then this is the wife's Lexus IS 300. Sat for many years, 7-8 years. Dogs kind of got a hold of it, so we still got some body parts to replace on it. But motor was locked up. Ended up replacing the motor. Got transmission back in. Found out it's got a limited slip differential, so we're gonna be adding the angle kit. Try to get some more angle out of it. I'll do an install on that. Cerakoted the headlights. If y'all are not a believer in it, let me tell you, Cerakote, trim coat, Cerakote headlight restoration. Find it at Walmart. It is some of the best stuff on the market. We've used that stuff, and we took headlights that you couldn't see 20 feet in front of you and sanded it, cleaned it, oxidized, coated it, and that vehicle, you could see so much better. The trim coat works great. You know, if you need to take care of any of your plastics, if your plastics are fading out, works awesome. I'm a firm believer in that stuff. But as far as the IS300 videos, those will come later. We'll do some F-150 videos, kind of, you know, give y'all a little update and everything of where we're at with it or what I'm doing to it. It's not something I built. I did buy it already, sitting on airbags. So, I mean, I'm learning how to do it just like everybody else. You got to start somewhere. So I bought one that, you know, some of the work was already done, and I've been working to kind of make it my own. I pulled the fuel cell out, went back with a factory fuel tank in it, replaced all the air management on it, you know, did the front end, did the doors, rewired everything inside the truck, went through and changed out all the interior. My wife's IS300, didn't know nothing about it. Jumped in, pulled the motor, replaced the motor in it, kind of did all kind of things. But anyway, so this is getting kind of a long video. You know, this is a brief introduction to myself, you know, kind of what I'm gonna start doing, and who knows, I mean, maybe somebody can learn something off of me. My biggest thing is I don't have nobody to teach me, so I go to YouTube to learn, and YouTube's been a great place. I've learned all kinds of things. I mean, you can find whatever you want. Some videos, you don't get all the information you want. Some videos, you get more information than what you want. Me, I look for what I look for. I know what I find. And if I can't find it, I don't really agree with a lot of the stuff. So I'm going to start doing videos the way I want them to be done. So that way, if somebody is anything like me and they're looking for specific details or a step-by-step of what they did to do something, I'm going to produce it. Maybe we can make something of it. Maybe I can start turning this into a full-time gig. You know, who knows? We'll see. Inside view. Yeah, we changed out, did some little carbon fiber bits here. We did the carbon fiber around the steering wheel. We've got a lot more carbon fiber coming for it. Like I said, this is the Citadel model, so it is the luxury version. We do have the flip-up TVs in the back. Kids can watch their movies, plug in HDMIs, watch separately, kind of whatever they want to do. We've got a lot to do to this. Kind of show y'all under the hood. Everything on here is stock except for what we just did to the exhaust. It's the only thing that's been changed. So as you see, it does have the Hemi 5.7 liter. We're going to be doing air intake on it. I'm thinking about changing out and doing a 392 intake manifold on it, because I know it's plug and play. We're going to do the front lowering suspension, rear lowering suspension on it, and some other things. But for now, I'm going to cut it off here. I got a little bit more to work on. We got some washer hose that needs to be replaced, and then I've also got the door handles that I'm fixing to work on. We're doing the carbon door handles, which very simple, very straightforward. It's all, 3M double-sided tape. Stick it on, call it a day. But appreciate y'all hanging out. If you stayed to the end, look forward to doing some more videos, kind of see where things go. And hey, like I said, maybe I can help you learn, and then you can give me some feedback on what to do different on some of my stuff. I'm all about learning. So y'all take care. Peace out. There we go.